right. So before I tell this story, there's a disclaimer for all my animal lovers and animal activist friends that or those that may see this video. I'm 37. I was 21, 22, maybe 23 around this time when this happened. So you're probably not gonna like this story. I feel bad about it, but it's also there's some humor in it, and there is what's the word? There's some karma that comes back. So I'm gonna tell a story of a time one of my best friend's brother was responsible for watching a 6-foot bald python. And it was over at his apartment. And at the time, my friend was staying with his brother, and we were out running around. And, the movie Road Trip with Tom Green and the snake scene, we thought that was funny. So we had it in our minds that we were going to feed the snake. Now, there were 2 rules that were given to his brother about watching this snake. The first rule was, don't lose my snake. The second rule was, don't feed my snake. So while we're in the car driving around, I'm like, your brother's not home. Let's go to the pet store and let's buy a rat and let's go feed the snake. I'm like, let's do it, dude. It'd be cool. It'd be awesome. I want to see it. So he agrees. So we went to, I don't know, Petco, PetSmart, one of the 2. And I don't know that they had any mice for snakes at this store. So we were looking at these big rats. So we decided to get the biggest rat that we could get, which they did specify that it's not for feeding rats. That's one of the bad parts. Sorry, we did it anyway. So we get back to the apartment, and it just so happened that his brother shows up with some of his buddies, and we explained to him, like, hey, we bought this rat. We really wanted to feed the snake. Like, are y'all cool with this? So we can all watch. And he agrees. So he puts the rat in the cage, terrarium. I'm not sure. I guess a terrarium. And seconds later, the rat whoosh, grabs the snake, wraps it up, and starts eating it. Well, as this snake is moving, or as the rat's moving through the snake, my buddy's younger brother decides he was gonna reach in there and poke the rat in the belly of the snake. And he starts putting his hand in there, and all of a sudden, whoosh, that snake grabs his arm. I'm talking just bites him like right there on the arm. And then it wrapped up and like wrapped his whole entire arm. And at the moment that this happens, he like holds his arm out. And we all turn around and look, and he just, ah! And there's probably 5 of us grown men in this apartment. So we all rush over and we're like, what do we do? So most of us are trying to pry the snake off the arm, and we get it unraveled. And then my buddy's brother, my best friend, he's like, give me that drumstick. So I grabbed the drumstick, I hand it to him, and he starts like, putting it in the mouth and trying to pry the mouth off. And I'll never forget, like the snake's mouth is coming off, and the skin's like bubbling up as he's doing so. And all of a sudden the mouth comes off and then latches back on. And then he puts the drumstick back in there, and then as he's trying to pry it off, he's like, get the F off me, and he throws the snake back in the terrarium, and we put the lid on. Whew, this is crazy. Now his skin's all bubbly, it's bleeding, it's even bleeding on the carpet. And then he decides this is a good time to try to clean blood off of the carpet and starts scrubbing it. And now he's just scrubbing blood in the carpet. So all hell's breaking loose, essentially. And this taught us a couple things. One, I guess you're not supposed to feed the snake in where it lives. I guess people will take it somewhere else, like a bathtub or something, to feed it. And I guess while it's eating, you don't touch it. You don't touch it while it's eating, because when you put your hand in there, it thinks it's more food. And I believe that this snake actually eats 2 rats at a time, probably smaller ones. But we did everything except for lose the snake. We did everything wrong. We broke the rules. So we were 50% on doing something right, which was not losing the snake. I felt bad about it. Oh, and we made him go to the hospital, and he got a shot because, we're like, rat, snake, diseases, better to be safe than sorry. So Karma came back and literally bit him in the arm. Never did that again. So for all my animal lovers, I'm sorry. I felt really bad about what I did. I thought it was going to be this Tom Green entertaining thing that you see in a movie, and I felt terrible about it. So I'm sorry. I have never done that again, and will never do that again. But that's all I got. Cheers.